Today I wanted to talk about letting go of control with breathwork and learning to surrender. Now, who here is great at letting go of control? Not me. Many of us, the harder things get, the more we want to control things that are going on around us. Which is normal because when chaos is going on, we want to be able to control everything, or we want to feel like we can control everything. I talk a lot about dealing with life transition, identity shifts, and the biggest thing that doesn't allow us to get to the other side is because we're not learning to surrender. And that's why I wanted to talk about breathwork. There's been a lot of talk about identity shifts and leveling up, but in many instances, for many of us, it's hard to sit in those emotions. And I know for me, it was hard for me to even unearth a lot of emotions that I had been suppressing. Breathwork really helped me shift those emotions, and it also helped me to heal after dealing with an injury. Now, the first thing that breathwork does, it helps to create a safe space. Now, when you're dealing with an injury or even something very difficult in life that can bring up a lot of maybe past trauma or anything chaotic that you might have dealt with, we need to be able to feel like we're in a safe space. But that may not be possible where we're at because maybe things are shifting. We're somewhere where we lost a job or we may have to move. So you're not really feeling grounded at that time. Doing breath work gets you into your body and it helps you feel centered and grounded. And I'm going to get into what exactly that I use that helped me to heal and surrender and let go of control. Like I was saying, breath work helps us to get into our body because we're literally breathing. So it centers us and allows us to take that space for ourselves. It really helped me unearth a lot of stuck emotions caused by the injury and even past trauma. It even also helped me to release tension that was in my body, and it helped my bodies to start feeling safe again. That it was okay to trust myself, that I wasn't going to re-injure myself. And it also, when it came to past trauma or anything difficult that I was dealing with, it helped teach me that I can trust myself to be able to take care of myself, to go back into my emotion, or not let my intrusive thoughts, arguments, or replaying things. It helped me to really quiet the mind. It also helped me acknowledge things that I may not known were going on with me. Many times we will not deal with anything that is happening in that moment because there is no space. Maybe you're at work, maybe you have kids. There's a lot of things going on in your life. So if you're like me, I would tend to suppress things and so I can deal with them later. But then when I was actually in that space that I can deal with them, I have pushed them down or shut them down, that it was hard for me to let them come up and let me feel them. And that happens if you've gotten used to or grew up in an environment where you felt your emotions or your voice were dismissed. And now you're having to reparent yourself and your inner child so that you can be able to express your emotion and feel. Breathwork gave me that space so that I was able to relax my body, relax the tension, calm the negative thoughts in my head so that I can be able again to ground myself and deal with all these emotions. And the last thing, the third thing, was that it helped me to accept and surrender the things that were happening. He talks about surrender as something between the rigid mind, so basically what things should be, or we think that they should be, and what is the acceptance. Another thing that he said that I really love was it's about giving up trying to understand something and simply becoming comfortable with not knowing. Not knowing why things happen or why they're happening. Or maybe even when it comes to other people, why they're acting the way they're acting or made the decisions that maybe don't feel comfortable for you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how you do it. You take 2 breaths in, 1 into your stomach or abdomen, and 1 into your chest, your heart. So it's I'm actually going to leave a link below of a breath meditation that I follow and really helped me to heal. And what that is doing, it's your brain is trying to control. It doesn't know what's happening. So you continue to do it over and over, and eventually your mind surrenders to what is happening. And so when I was healing and going through a lot, like I was saying, a lot of ways that we protect each other is we create tension in the body and we suppress a lot of the things. And what breathwork does, it allows us to create a safe space. It allows us to get out of our mind, and it allows us to release those things so that we start becoming aware of what is going on. Without the mind stopping you, without the need to control, without all of that in the way, it allows you to come into acceptance. And like I mentioned before, because we have this tendency to want to control, to have the answers, and to want to know the whys, breath work takes all of that away from us. And it grounds us into our body. And it allows us to start dealing with a lot of things. I had a lot of emotions that were stuck, so I was actually able to cry and then realize why I was actually crying, what was really going on. And it allowed me to heal because I was able to release a lot of that tension that was stuck in my body because of the injury that I had to deal with and start healing from. I know that there's a lot of things out here about identity shifts and leveling up and micro habits and all of these things, but I also think it's important to look at different things that we can use in our lives to help us heal. And many of us struggle with, why can't I level up? Why can't I be more disciplined? Why can't I be more consistent? And for me, it was definitely because I was too stuck in my body. Things were being suppressed, things were being held, and I also had an injury that didn't allow me to get out of my head. It didn't allow me to get out of my body to try and heal and understand and surrender and accept what was going on. It wasn't until that acceptance and that surrender that I was finally able to start healing and start changing things in my life, instead of trying to change everything around me or control it. And now I still use it, and it helps me not just to ground myself, but it also helps me to be able to sleep when I have a lot of running thoughts going in my mind, or I'm having a difficult moment, or dealing with a difficult person, or even having my own difficulties in my life. Breathwork has literally changed my life, turned so many things around so that I can start doing that leveling up and shifting and being consistent and more focused. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any questions, you can leave them below. And as always, I like to leave journal questions at the end because journaling is so helpful, as many of you know. So the first thing is, what is stopping you from letting go of control? Why do you find it hard to surrender to what is? And if you found this video helpful when it comes to breath work, would it be something that you would try as an alternative to maybe many things that you have seen out there? Like I said, I've put a link below for the breath work that I use, and I hope you find it helpful. Thank you so much.